We are live. All right. Welcome, Amelia. Today we have Amelia with us for this little interview show. Well, you know what? Why don't we have you introduce yourself? Who are you?
My name is Amelia, and I am Amelia.
That's excellent. I feel like I understand you completely now.
Good.
Amelia is going to be giving us some hot takes about dating. So, I don't know if she was aware of that going into this.
I love dating. It's my favorite.
Truly, you should hear how much she loves it. All right, what does your ideal relationship look like?
I don't know. Me next to a man, and the man is like strong with his arms, but also with his soul. You know what I mean? I haven't met the ideal man for me yet, so I don't really exactly know what he's like. But when I daydream about him, I don't know. It takes care of my emotions because I've got lots of them.
It's gone from a he to an it now. I love that.
Did I say it?
Please continue.
I don't know. I want them to be like wise and adventurous and wake up early in the morning, not in the afternoon, because I don't like laying in bed.
You an early riser?
Yeah.
What time do you usually get up?
3 a.m.
Grinder.
It's not by choice, We're getting better at waking up around 6 o'clock in the morning though, you know, and I appreciate that. Someone who knows how to drive manual. I want them to be able to drive manual.
That's important. Is there a particular reason for that, perhaps, that you'd like to?
Oh yeah, because I bought a car that is manual, and I don't know how to drive stick. But it's a Volkswagen from 1980, so like it was worth it, right?
Anyway. Okay, on to the next question.
Amelia, do you think you could be in a relationship where you were the main income and support? Or do you feel like it needs to be 50-50? What dynamic do you want?
What dynamic I would like is probably not spending any of my money ever at all, but I feel like
on him?
No, I mean, like, I like doing things, but I mean, like, you know, he has the house and everything like that, like, takes care of the stuff, and then, like, I just make my own money and do whatever I want with it, but I would definitely, like, spend money on a man, but I would like for him to be able to...
The bills are his.
I would like for him to be able to... I would like for him to want to take care of that, you know? It's not about him needing to or anything like that, it's more like, that's the kind of man that he is, he wants to take care of it.
Should a man pay the bill when you go out to eat?
I think I would prefer for him to pay the bill. Like, I don't know. I don't really mind paying for a bill if that's what I want to do. But I think most of the time I do expect a man to pay the bill.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Would you have pets with him?
I love pets. I have a cat. He can have a dog or a cat or a snake or a horse or, I don't know. Little piggies, maybe some ducks, I don't know.
You want to live on a farm? Is what
I don't know if I want to live on a farm, but we can have a farm.
Okay.
What is the ick in what gives you the ick?
The ick is like when the man does something. It can be the most basic thing, like the way they scratch their balls in public, or it can be like, or it can be something like a red flag kind of thing, you know? But as soon as a girl sees the ick, she loses attraction to him.
Is it a feeling or is it an absence of feeling?
I think it becomes a feeling that incites an absence of feeling. Once you feel this, you then feel void of any attraction you once had. It's like a chain reaction. And what gives me the ick is men just not being in love with me the moment that I meet them. Yeah, that's, if it's not like that, I don't want it.
Next question. What are like the signs that a first date is going well for you?
They're talking about themselves just as much as I'm talking about myself, because if they're talking about themselves too much, then they're not listening to me. And if I'm talking about myself too much, I'm probably not actually having a good time, and I'm just trying to fill the space with words until I get to leave.
How much money does a man have to have to date you? Is that even a thing that's on your mind?
I think that they should have a reasonable amount of money. Like, they have a job and they can, you know, take care of themselves and maybe an animal and be happy, you know? I don't know what that kind of amount of money in this day and age is, though, because I have no sense of what money is, and I just spend it like it's Monopoly, so.
It's good to know. It's important to know.
I probably need to work on that, but baby steps.
I'm glad
Okay.
you got that.
Okay, so farming, is that a hobby you find attractive in a man? What kind of stuff do you like to see a man do? What hobbies are you
just-
attracted to?
just
like
like-
fishing?
I guess, especially if he can fillet that fish and I can eat it.
So
I want
cooking?
Cooking. Oh, I like cooking. So he doesn't have to cook, but it would be fun to cook together because I like cooking. But catching the meat that I can then cook, you know, like.
Being the hunter, you're the guy.
Yes. Like, I don't know, I like a manly man who does man things and builds with his hand and gives and takes life with them. I don't know.
It's like a carpenter, like what kind of stuff is a green flag that he would be going and doing with the boys?
I don't know, just like, I don't know if I know very many men who build things with the boys, but just having friends that you go out with and do active activities, whether that's sports or hanging out.
Is golf a green flag?
Sure, I don't know. It's kind of a degenerate sport, but it's also like a rich person degenerate sport, so.
Don't forget white.
Tiger Woods, come on now.
Okay, so what are some red flags? What's like, oh, you do this, we're done.
Okay, red flags in a man are like
Football is one for me.
football, like watching football? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if that's a hobby, they love getting with people and watching football. That's like
If they do it every Sunday, your plan is that you go to a sports bar and watch football with your significant other. But because they watch football and you want to spend time with them on Sunday, so you have to then go to the sports bar every Sunday.
green or red flag.
That's such a red flag.
What about soccer?
I don't know if I've really ever watched a game of soccer before. I played soccer when I was younger, but I've seen football, I've seen golf, I've seen basketball, hockey. Those are the Florida American sports.
I mean, boys don't have hobbies. That's the thing.
They don't have I
They
don't
work
know.
and they fuck and they
And
drink.
they play Magic the Gathering and they
Is okay, D&D. Okay, nerdy hobbies like playing Star Wars with your friends, video games like D&D.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think that there's a certain level of it where you become like not even the virgin thing, but kind of like you're just so infatuated with gaming that it's like all you can think about and it's a little gay. And I don't mind
You're online
gay
with the
people.
boys for 5 hours.
Yeah. And it just takes over your whole life and you're like if you scream and get mad while you're playing video games.
Red flag.
That's a huge green flag, right?
That's a red flag.
That means they're passionate. Okay, they're passionate gamers.
Bro.
Passionate at yelling.
Yeah.
I feel like I think gaming can be fun I feel like a lot of people know how to do it in moderation, but those who are anyone who's addicted to something, having a hobby is a nice thing, but when you are addicted to said hobby, it becomes a little bit of like, okay, do you need to go to rehab for playing Pokemon? Like, the fuck's wrong with you?
What would you go to rehab for if your actions were drugs?
If my actions were drugs, I would go to rehab for.
Not enough rehabs in the world.
Yeah. I don't think I can say it.
So true.
Next, I plead the fifth.
We're gonna ask you a couple of questions
Okay.
about physical features in a man. And you're gonna say green light or red light if that's hot to you or not.
Okay.
Mustache.
Green light.
Receding hairline.
Red light.
Dad bod. You can do orange.
Orange light? Yeah, it depends on how the dad bod looks, you know?
Like good arms, daddy belly.
Okay, we can have.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we can have a green light on that.
Long hair.
You know, I'm gonna go because I've liked guys with like some long hair, and then I also have liked guys with no hair, and then some hair is cool too. Hair is hair.
Bald.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, hair is no hair. Sure.
American.
Maybe red flag. That one's like, yeah, or in the middle, you know? Because I live in America, so most of the men I date are American.
French man.
I don't know, I like the French, but like, at the same time, it's never worked out, so we're gonna go orange.
Italian man.
I'm gonna go red flag on that one. Yeah, I was sexually assaulted by my Italian my Italian boss, and he was married with like 2 kids. One was like my age, and I thought he wanted me to like date his son, and I'm like, I don't know. Now I'm scared of the Italians. They just.
Okay, 5'9".
That's not the worst.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh.
Okay.
It's like what? How many inches taller am I?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'6.5", so that's like 2.5 inches taller than me.
How tall are those heels?
I think these are like 3.5, 4 inches.
5'9's a no.
Emma Kate asked, what about women who are like trying to get a husband, right? And approaching it from that. Is that a mistake?
I feel like it's like, what are their intentions for wanting the husband? Because also, I think just as much as men need to like work on themselves and like establish, you know, taking care of themselves, women have to have worked on themselves. I think a lot of young or people who don't know enough about themselves are like, I just want to get married and have a husband or whatever, but
and just have that be their identity.
Have that be their whole identity. And I think that there's a lot of men who would prefer to have, a lot of men say that they want a woman who just will be like a housewife, but at the end of the day, like they get very kind of sick of that. So if you don't have your own personality, your own being, and your whole life is just being like boy crazy looking for like a man, that kind of, it's like, okay, well, but how are you developing yourself? What are you doing for yourself? And how, maybe, you know, if you do more things like that, how do you know you're not gonna find someone?
So do you think it's
like through those, you know?
If a person has, if a woman has like a more like fully fleshed out personal identity, like she really understands herself, do you think she's more or less likely to be husband hungry, to like fill that?
I feel like it's gonna be less about being husband hungry and more about wanting to find someone who like complements themselves very well. So they're not worried about the marriage part because they're more worried about finding someone that they actually enjoy spending time with. And once they find that, then they're gonna want the husband part. But I think that people who are in a right state of mind aren't just looking for somebody because they want to like get married, you know? They're trying to find someone who compliments them and makes them happy in life, and then that's when you start getting the feelings of like, maybe I have found someone I can spend the rest of my life with. I think that's at least how I try to approach it at this point, because I don't know, just like looking at people and being like, could they be my husband? Could they be that sounds like so tiring and exhausting, like trying to find marriage material in every person you meet rather than just trying to meet and understand people, because maybe that's part of the reason that they haven't found a husband yet is because they don't even know how to get to know a person, you know?
That is usually a prerequisite for marrying.
Sometimes. I mean, go to other countries and it's just being under the age of 13.
Or Mormon.
Or Mormon.
What do you think about like the red pill alpha male influencer type guys? The kind of like, not necessarily Andrew Tate, but the Andrew Tate kind of wannabe archetype. How do you like them as content creators?
How do I like them as content creators?
Yes.
I feel like as content creators, they're really just rage baiters. You know, they're very passionate about what they're saying and they're trying to evoke like a lot of emotion in a lot of different people, and they do a great job of doing that, you know, and they don't care whether it makes people angry or whether it's getting people to...
It's getting clicks.
It's getting clicks, yeah, and it's getting their views across, you know, however they feel like they want to do that. So they're doing a good job of what they're doing, but I don't know if I per se like watching it.
Yeah, I feel like the like whatever podcast, I feel like those guys do a really bad job.
I feel like at first when I was first seeing them, they were letting women speak like a little bit more and say like kind of crazier things, and so they were getting a lot more traction because they were able to like use women to get views, because it definitely wasn't the man that was getting the views. But now they've kind of gotten this little kind of power hungry thing about them where they want to have all this control over the women and like silence them when they're not acting exactly the way that they want them to over the course of like a 6 or 8 hour filming session.
Which is crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. The only time I like someone...
What are you talking about for 8 hours? now? Or I could never sit. I've never actually sat through a full. Like, who watches all of it?
Well,
Are there people who do that?
I have zero clue, but there was one girl on it recently. I have no clue what her name is, but she's like the quirky, like she's definitely like on the spectrum and like is kind of like this e-girl kind of persona, and she just came in there and like screwed up every single one of his points, and every time he like talked himself into disproving his own point, he would have like a little like mental breakdown. She was my favorite. Like, I actually enjoyed watching those clips, and I was like, it's been a hot minute since that was what was so good about what she was saying, was she was proving that point of what it is that they're doing. Yeah, and but the funny part was that she got him to talk himself into realizing that he was wrong.
That's nice.
And he was just like, I can't say anything anymore. She just got me into a hole. I lost my train of thought.
Who do you think is like the best of the like red pill? Is it just Andrew Tate? I feel like it's just Andrew Tate.
Yeah, it's just him and his brother, because they're just like...
They're so fucking funny.
They're hilarious.
They're so fucking funny.
They're hilarious.
I mean, not to be an Andrew Tate glazer, it's just
I don't know, you're looking a little hard over there. Yeah, you could never be me.
That makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm literally taking your power away from you and making you feel inferior.
Wow, that's
You
incredible.
now know, you know. Don't try to mimic me, you can't be me.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, you'll never be him. There you go.
What about the people who subscribe to those ideas? Like the red pill, like a normal everyday dude, not the content creators.
I know that Andrew Tate has his own little university, and I don't know exactly how that's all doing, but I've definitely seen just like red pill like followers, and it kind of feels they're just like drinking Kool-Aid. Like, they're not really taking a red pill, they're being sold something.
Right.
And they're just as much a follower of nothingness as anyone else is.
Hating women as like an aesthetic preference.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
Because a lot of them, that's what they do. They hold on to these little parts of the red pill community that they like, which is mostly not having to like.
It's like a scientific way to justify your resentment.
Yes, because none of them are actually.
Obviously, not that there's anything scientific about it. It's just, it feels like a way to make yourself feel better than people hurt your feelings, is what it feels like to me.
100%. They'll, it's a part of the cycle. Everyone has to they have to go up and crash down and figure out what the real meaning of life is. So you gotta drink.
The meaning of life is hating women. That's. That seems reasonable to me.
Well, I think for a lot of women too, though, the meaning of life is hating men, and it's kind of,
We're both so good at it. Maybe that is what it's all about.
And I think that that's like the place where you then burn out and either die alone or figure out that it's better just to love one another,
Mm-hmm. Is the number one mistake that you see men make in dating and relationships?
At least in the dating pool that I've had, there's a real lack of consistency. I'll have people who say that they like me, but then don't talk to me for weeks at a time, and I'm or you'll have people who, I don't know, are just very inappropriate right off the bat, and just they're either not trying to stick around, or they probably have a million different options. So I think that having a lot of options is making people not actually try anymore. Or I guess guys, I've never had a guy bring me flowers or anything like that.
There's not I think courtship has been commoditized to the point where people don't think that stuff is valued anymore. Mm-hmm. But it's important. It's especially in the early stages of courtship, I think it's important to let somebody know that you're at least somewhat invested.
Yeah.
I think it's inappropriate.
That you're interested in trying to find more, instead of just are they just trying to sleep with me, or, is this just for them for the next couple of months? No, please stop trying to trick me. I don't like it. I'm okay. I've been tricked enough. It's good.
No more tricks.
Thank you.
No more tricks for the fellas out there. You mentioned that you feel like an excess of options is responsible for that. What about for the men who don't have options? What do you think they're doing wrong, or who feel that they don't have options?
I think maybe it's a lack of taking care of themselves. I know even, for me, if I don't go and leave the house, how am I supposed to meet somebody? But I would also never leave the house without taking a shower and making sure that I like look presentable or whatever. And I think that men maybe even don't feel right about self-care and grooming themselves. Like there are so many men I know who don't keep their facial hair clean. And I think like especially a lot of people who probably don't leave their house as much, and men who don't feel like they have any options. I'll see a lot of time that, you know, maybe they need a haircut, maybe they need to trim their beard, maybe they need to get a new outfit and give themselves a little bit of confidence. And just like try and speak to women. Maybe don't try and speak to the prettiest girl at the bar if you're not
Baby steps.
you know, but you know, and even there are plenty of weird men who come up to me and I still have a conversation with them, and I hope that that made them feel a little bit more confident about going and having conversation with somebody who might actually be interested in them, you know. I know that there are women who probably are rude and like don't talk to me, but I've never been the kind of person, if somebody comes up to me and tries to have a conversation, where I won't like make conversation with them. I remember I was sitting at a mall and a homeless man came up to me and I talked to him for like 45 minutes before I realized that he was homeless.
Wow.
But like, you know,
That's incredible. Either he was extremely convincing or...
He was like 65 years old.
Awesome.
I thought he was just like a nice old man who was like making conversation with me at the mall. And then I was like, and then by the end of the conversation, I found out he was homeless and kind of crazy.
How'd you find out? Or...
I was like, do you have a phone number? And he said, no.
That's a
And I was like, well, how can I find you then? And he was like, he showed me his like Metropolitan Ministry like homeless ID card, and he's like, I'm here on Sundays, and I'm like,
righteous.
So cool.
Righteous brother.
But he did have some cool stories of like overseas and like, I don't know if they were maybe manic dreams that he had or delusions, but if they actually happened, he lived kind of a cool life. I almost missed my reservation because I couldn't get him to stop talking. I was like, I've really enjoyed this conversation, but my reservation at the sushi place just opened up and I like I've been waiting for this fucking sushi for 45 minutes and I really want it.
Incredible. Now, flip side of that question, what is the mistake that you see women make most often in dating and relationships?
I feel like it's a lot easier for women to have multiple options, and I think once that becomes like, women will talk about having a roster, which I don't think it's different from men, but I think for women, when they have a roster of men or just a bigger pool that they're pulling from, they're more critical on like smaller things. And they also, so like, you know, like getting that ick like way too quick and not giving people who are probably good options more of like a chance to develop and like,
it's kind of like a one strike, you're out.
Yeah, like, cause I mean, the people, I remember learning in school your pros and cons list. Do the pros outweigh the cons? If you get rid of somebody because you see a few cons before you can like find out the pros of them, then like you never know what this list is. And if like the fact that he picks his nose and eats it like really just is it for you, I don't know.
Yeah. I know. I certainly hope that women can overlook that in particular. That was a great specific point.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I agree that women should just get over that. Just let's never talk about it again. Let's not pretend like it's weird. It's normal and healthy, and growing boys do it all the time to grow very strong from eating their boogies. So,
how often do you get your hair done?
How often do I get my hair done? I think I get my hair done maybe every 3 months.
Okay.
But I'll go like every 2 months to get it like trimmed.
Do you consider yourself high maintenance?
I don't think I used to be high maintenance, but I think I have the luxury of being high maintenance now.
What does that mean, luxury of?
I get massages once a week, and I do my lashes like every other week, and I get my nails done once a month. My nails, my hands, and my toes.
You're booked.
What else do I do? Sometimes I'll get like facials. I don't know. I want to go just to get my feet massaged, and then I'll feel like, you know, top tier, yeah.
When you're swiping on Tinder, what is like, give me like 3 examples of pictures that are just immediate no's, like immediately like right swipe, is it right swipe? Left swipe?
Right? No, right is good, left is bad. Yeah.
Left is bad. How many? Yeah. What 3 types of pictures are like an immediate no?
An immediate no. There are some profiles that just are no picture. There, you don't have a single picture of you on the profile, and that's like really weird. Another one that's annoying is this one's like a 2-parter. Your first picture is a group of people, and then the second picture is a picture of you, and you're the least attractive person.
I hate seeing those. It's like getting catfished for 20 seconds.
Bro, but it's almost like, it's also just like, why would you let me know that all of your friends are hotter than you?
Wait, guys do that too?
Yeah. Oh, I almost.
That was a girl thing.
I always thought it was Russian.
100%.
Maybe it's a human thing. I thought it was Russian roulette. I'm like, okay, I can tell because the first photo is a group photo, and I like show my friends. I'm like, which one do you guys think it is? I'll bet 5 on that guy. I'll bet 10 on the other. And it's always the like last 2 attractive guys.
Yeah, or the shortest man.
The girl version of it is it's always
All your friends are ugly.
It's always the one that weighs 300 pounds.
Oh no!
It's never not that one.
Yeah, or there's
Sorry,
I'll
guys.
post a photo, or I'll post a photo, and I'm the only one that looks good in the photo, and all my friends are like, their mouths are half open, or their
Right.
eyes are half open. Like,
Right.
that's not a girl's girl thing to do.
Yeah, but I see that and I'm like, yes, don't.
So, okay, so you got guys with no pictures, what else?
Guys who do have pictures, but they have their face blurred out in every picture.
Blurred out like it's a crime scene, or blurred out like,
No, like,
not in the photo?
They like etch their photo out so that nobody can know their identity. Like
It's just
they're
their
fucking
body.
hiding something. Yeah.
What do you think of gym photos? Like the like alpha male, dark black background, like posing?
It depends on if you did like a really fucking good job and if there's only one of them. Because if every single photo is you like gym posing it up, like looking, I think that's a little.
That's a little icky. About fishing pics, you know, the like.
It depends on if it's a good fish, because I really like eating fish, so.
I thought you were straight.
I am straight.
Oh, okay.
But, but that doesn't mean I haven't swung both ways.
What process of dating do you like the most? Like the talking stage, the like right before the first date, the talking after? Like, what's your favorite part about it?
I don't know, I don't usually get past like the first, second, maybe third date. I guess I really like meeting people that I can have like a good conversation with.
What does that look like? Like, not like, what do you do for work? What is it? Like,
No, they
tell me
like-
about your mom.
Like tell me about your mom, like let's talk about conspiracy theories, like how cooked are you? I was gonna say something bad, but I stopped myself.
So we can totally just cut it in post.
Yeah, let's cut it in post.
Yeah.
A tee-hee-hee. No, I know you won't really do that.
I'm actually, my master plan is to stitch all of this footage together and chop it in such a way that it looks like
I'm saying the N-word.
You just said slurs.
Yeah.
For I'm literally.
This is AI generated.
Now that you've talked for this long, we can make AI make you say anything.
Are you worried about AI on dating apps? Have you seen any AI on dating apps?
Yeah, I've definitely seen a few AI profiles on dating apps. I just report them. Hopefully other people don't get scammed.
Do you have any rules on like sleeping with people on dates? How do you think of sex and dates? Like, do you have a time frame?
I don't know if I have a time frame. I just don't want to feel like they fetishize me and just want to like have sex with me and then they're gonna go, because I'm kind of tired of that.
How long have you seen a guy do that until you noticed it? Like, how many dates? Like, have you been fooled before? Have you gone on like 5 or 6 dates? and
No,
then
it's
you
not
think-
like a 5 or 6 date thing. It's like they have sex with me and I never see them again. And I could not tell you how many times that's happened, to where the point I'm just like, when men are like, some of my best relationships have happened after like sleeping with them on the first date. I'm like, wow, you know how many times I've fucking heard that one and fell for it? Today, not falling for it. Yeah, and I'm just at the point where I'm like, I think I just want to be in a relationship, so if somebody tries to sleep with me, I'm just like, ew, you're a whore. Like,
So
how
at
am I
what
supposed to
point-
respect you?
Like, are we going back to the 1800s where you're dating for 3 months before you sleep with them? Or are you gonna be Mormon and wait till marriage?
Oh God, I don't know. It just depends on the vibes. Like, it depends on how long it takes for me to feel like they care about me, I guess. So it's been like a year.
And it's scary to date. People are so fake these days.
Yeah, I feel like I used to be fake, but I'm not trying to be fake anymore. So hopefully I can find other people that just don't want to be fake and also aren't like god fucking ugly.
That's the thing about dating apps, because like organically meeting someone is the dream, right? It's, oh, I met this person through a best friend.
You
I met
want
this.
the meet cute.
Yeah, you want the meet cute.
Yeah, of course
And
you want the meet cute. That's everybody's dream.
Everyone wants to meet cute.
you have to have friends to do that, though, Amelia.
Yeah.
And that's what's so hard is I'm like, I need to have friends not only that like say 3 of them are married, and then it's like, okay, and your friends do have ugly friends. Like the probability of your friend having a friend that you want to date is so low, it's so sad.
You know what? I'm really into my hot friends bringing me on double dates now. I feel like that doesn't fail.
Yeah, did you go on one recently?
Yeah, I did.
How did it go?
It went good.
Like, what did you guys do on the date?
So we actually, before the date, we went and were going to like somebody's like birthday party in downtown Tampa, and then after the dinner we went to like this hotel bar called The Edition. We went to like the rooftop bar and we met these 2 boys. My friend got the Canadian and I got the Ukrainian. I would take your pick. Yeah, I was happy to have the Ukrainian. Yeah.
Nice. Are you gonna go on another date, maybe?
Maybe, I think so. Yeah. Yes. That's next
We're
weekend.
manifesting.
No, it's next weekend.
Oh yay! How do you feel like
It's
you're?
playing.
It's
It's playing festive.
and we've been like talking on the phone every night, and it's cute.
Oh, that's very cute.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your career in OF has influenced your dating life and how you feel you can like not only talk to them about it, but talk about it to the public? Are you worried about sharing things about your dating life because of your OF?
I don't know. I feel like the people on my OF know that my dating life is pretty cooked, so.
Do you talk about it on your OF?
I feel like I have in the past. I don't do it all the time, but I definitely like. Pretty sure they know that I'm single. Like everyone knows that, you know. Sometimes I've even put out like what's it called?
Like a boyfriend application?
Like a boyfriend application, yeah.
To your
Yes,
fans?
yeah, to my fans, yeah. Just to kind of like, I don't know, to see what kind of people follow me and like
you know
what
they
they're
like you
like.
too.
Yeah, I know that they
Yeah,
like me, so
that's
it's just kind of
cool.
like, so I've done that, and I've done that kind of like experiment, and I haven't gone on any dates with like followers or anything like that, but I definitely have my eyes open to like what the possibilities in my, like I know, who knows, you know, what dating is gonna be like in the future, and maybe it's bops finding their future husbands online. I don't fucking know.
OnlyFans dating. OnlyFans secret
To the highest bidder, yeah.
Why do you think it is that women generally are judged for being more sexually open? Do you believe that's true?
I think it just depends on the group that the people are exposed to, because I feel like there's a large community of women who are like, yes. Also, there's different groups like swingers groups and people who are polyamorous where they've found a niche of people who all celebrate that kind of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's hard, but I think as far as like major media goes,
Or just like normal, quote unquote, normal
People,
the average
yeah.
person? Yeah.
yeah, I guess. But like imagine being like a weird person and deciding to live near like normies.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sounds like
Voluntarily?
voluntaral abuse, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it can be about where you decide to go, but I think that those same pressures can be put on men, but I do think that they tend to be like a little bit looser on men. Like it's kind of a manly thing to be able to go out and
Smash.
conquest, yeah, yeah. And for a woman, it's more like, oh, well, of course it would be easier for you to do that. Like everyone will hit that. Like,
So you think it's like the difficulty is where the
maybe
the difference comes in?
Yeah, I've also read some books where it's, you know, for women. That just proves the point that
As a
men will
male,
smash
as a male
anything.
feminist, I think I have to disagree.
Oh, you're a male feminist?
Mhm.
Oh, I believe
Stop.
that.
I'm no,
I love your smile, your little grimace, your fucking shit grin.
Does body count matter? Does it mean different things for men and for women?
It doesn't really mean anything to me. I'd rather just I mean, like, if there's a reason to discuss it, I don't think there's an importance behind the actual number, but if there's like a reason to discuss sexual history, then like I understand that. But I think just having like what's in the past is in the past, and what's in the future is in the future. So if you guys are dwelling on like circumstances that happened before you guys even met each other, then it kind of seems like maybe the priorities are out of whack. I don't know. I feel like building a life with someone should be about building a life with someone, and if you're gonna scrutinize what they've done before, then that's probably like not a good fit.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
So if it's something that matters to you, then you should probably find someone that, you know, it also matters to. But to try and be with somebody who maybe doesn't have your same values and then scrutinize them for it seems weird. I guess that's one thing I like having an OnlyFans for, because it kind of gives the opportunity to see like what people like really care about that.
Sure.
And I know I'm the kind of person who, even without having an OnlyFans, wouldn't care about those things. So naturally I wouldn't mesh well with someone who's gonna be hyper fixated on what I'm wearing, if people are looking at me when we're going out, like all of those other things that come with that kind of like controlling mindset, or like, you know, not wanting your partner to have a high body count, or, you know, wanting them to have a low body
It's
count.
almost like you want to have control over their past.
Yeah,
Which is
it's like,
impossible.
yeah.
That seems like just kind of an exercise in futility.
Like I've even had a boyfriend who, you know, found like old letters that I had gotten from, you know, other boys that had tried to like date me, and it made them upset and they like destroyed them. And that was like, I wasn't keeping it because I looked back on it and I was like, oh, I remember like this boy, But I like collecting memories because it reminds me of my past, and I don't think that my past is necessarily something that I shouldn't want to like remember, especially like the older you get, the harder it is for you to remember things that really didn't mean that much in your life. But when you like see a little thing and are reminded of it,
It's like a heartwarming.
yeah, it's kind of like a blast.
Nostalgic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so for someone to be jealous even to the point of like destroying my nostalgia, see, I don't want to be. I've also known men who have had girlfriends who have passed away, you know, suddenly, and their future relationships get mad at them when they like want to celebrate that person's birthday or the day that they died.
Well, really, I think it was selfish for that person to die.
100%, especially if they were like an alcoholic or a drug addict and
Yeah.
overdosed and died, you know.
Or even if it was an accident, just like
Oh yeah, got in a
people
car
prepared.
accident.
You know, maybe they were a bad driver.
Yeah, well, or maybe
Just don't
a
die.
drunk driver.
If somebody
hit
loves
them.
you, just don't die. It's
Yeah.
like pretty basic etiquette, I think.
But you know, I've seen people who like, you know, they're like crying because their new girlfriend is like, you can't celebrate your dead girlfriend's birthday.
Right.
And I'm like, that's why. Like you're jealous over a dead person right now.
You can celebrate on the date you died.
No, not even that. Like not even that. They're like, why?
No, I mean like, yeah, she's dead. Hell yeah. You know what I mean?
But seriously, like, and that's what it will be like. And I'm like, that's just so terrible.
Yeah, it's a
you
little
know?
deranged. It's a little deranged.
Yeah. Never had to experience loving someone and losing them, but I would definitely like, I don't know. People get jealous over crazy things, and I think it really just is a matter of like how hard they're working on themselves, and maybe if they're that immature, I don't want them. Yeah.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
What is your favorite word?
Probably lámpara.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What sound or noise do you love, Amelia?
Can you make the noise?
Are you talking about my era?
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Can you make that noise?
What profession other than influencing would you like to try?
I have always loved being a chef and cooking. I guess I've already done that though, so if it was gonna be something totally different, I would just be a person who lives in a van down by the river. No more job, just homelessness.
Yeah. What turns you on, like creatively?
Oh, creatively. I think being in new spaces. I think whenever I like I'll move into a new place and I'll really like where I'm living, and then all of a sudden I'll feel like I'm inside of a hole that I can't escape from. So whenever I go on adventures to new areas and new places and, you know, try things I've never done, it just like opens up my levels of happiness and dopamine and then creativity, and that's what drives me.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God saying in your right pearly gates?
You did it, good job. And then dab me up and be like, get on in here. It's not gonna be hard no more, except in like 5 minutes when I send you back down to earth.
Very good, very good. Okay, what's the nicest thing someone has done for you on a date? What do you think?
The nicest thing that someone has done for me on a date is probably oh, that's actually like kind of really hard. I guess really just a nice dinner is like the nicest kind of thing, you know? I've never had anybody do anything kind of like, I don't know, cool, I guess. Like, yeah, like I've never had a date bring me flowers, and I think that that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think men need to step it up a little. It's not gonna take much to impress me, that's all I'm saying.
What's like the best date location you've ever been on?
The best date location that I've ever been on, and this wouldn't be like a first date, but I did like a little road trip to Gainesville, I think, and we just did like a lot of fun. We did some hikes. We went to an animal rescue facility where, you know, they just had a bunch of animals that were gonna get slaughtered and eaten, and they're like, don't eat animals, and we'd go around petting them like cows and little pigs and stuff like that. And that person was vegan, so we did like a bunch of little vegan places, and that was just kind of, I like going on adventures for dates that maybe like take a couple of days, like a little vacation. That's fun for me.
Do you want someone similar to you, or do you believe in opposites attract?
I think I'm big on like opposites attract. I feel like I'm kind of a bubbly, crazy type of person, and I would prefer somebody who kind of grounds me and is a little bit more stoic and able to make decisions better than me, because I definitely need a little grounding sometimes. And just, I also like the feeling of being able to trust in my partner and like feel like, you know, they've got everything under control and everything on lock. Like I can be the kid on a leash kind of thing, like running around having fun. They're able to like bring me in and be like, hey, don't cross the street without looking. Sometimes I need that.
That's something that happens a lot.
It's happened a couple of times. I may have almost Naruto run into a car like just yesterday.
So you like you want like a yin to your yang?
Yeah,
thing,
for
or vice
sure.
versa. Alright, cool.
Definitely a yin to the yang, for sure. Yeah.
From the yang to the yin, I don't know.
Yeah, however it goes. But like those circles with the dots,
That's
you know,
right.
they're different, but they've also got a little bit of each other in each, so balance.
What techniques do you use to exit a bad date without arousing suspicion?
So this is my best technique for exiting a date without arousing suspicion. I just act like I'm having a really good time, and I make great conversation, and I just make them believe that everything is going great. And then when the date is over, I leave and we never talk again. So like I can do like 2 to 4 hours with someone that I am not interested in whatsoever.
So it's just leaving.
Yeah, it's just leaving once the date is over. I don't like making people feel bad, you know? At least, yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm getting better about that, you know? I'm actually just getting better at going on dates with people who don't make my brain feel like it's going numb.
Yeah.
Which, kudos to me.
Yeah.
Final question. If someone wants to date you, Amelia,
What is the number one thing that they should take away from this interview? What's the secret to unlocking your heart?
The secret to unlocking my heart is to spontaneously bump into me in the most romantic way possible and lock eyes with me and see that I have also fallen in love with them, and then never let me go for the rest of our lives. But also be like really sweet and kind to me, and I'll reciprocate, and then we'll get to know each other until it blooms into love, and we won't be, or just go scroll on Tinder and then swipe on me.
There it is. That's the one. I think that was.
Yeah.
The first one sounded a little out of reach, I think, for most listeners.
Oh, well, that's because it's only going to happen with one person,
Right.
Yeah. They just have to pray to God to be that one person, yeah.
Just gotta...
For the right reasons, too.
You were just going to have hundreds of men every day approaching you in public and locking eyes. No. This is what she said.
This is what she wanted.
This is what she said.
No, it manifested my nightmare.
I can't believe you said that out loud.
Oh, God.
And we're going to put it on the internet. People are going to see it. They're going to be like, well, that's the secret. We'll put a disclaimer up or something. We'll fix it.
Do not touch.
We'll fix it in post.
Look, do not touch.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Amelia. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, fun times.
Yes.
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 Very good.
Good, nice.
Cool.
Cool.